mysuccesszone.com. Coming to you live, and so excited to be able to spend some time with you. It's Monday, mindset and motivation. Let's kick it off. All right. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tracy Davis. I am a business and success coach, and I come to you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to share business tips and wisdom because I believe that skill set and mindset make you an asset. So I do my very, very best to make sure that I help you in those two areas. If there's someone that you feel is a newbie in business or is trying to make a transition from offline to online or just wants to be motivated, then I want you to go ahead and tag them, right? Go ahead and inbox them, go ahead and call them, text them, tell them, say, hey, there's somebody on that wants to give us some value tonight. And guess what? Every single night. Now, we actually have themes each and every night, and Monday nights are mindset and motivation, okay? Tuesdays, we talk about tips and tools of the trade. Wednesday, what's working now. And then Thursday, things I wish I had known before I started business. So I want to make sure that each day you're getting something that that you can implement right away, okay? So tonight, we are going to be talking about mindset. We're going to be talking about mindset because this is so important when you are talking. Hello. Thanks so much for hopping on. I'm so glad I can see my comments tonight. You never know with technology, so it's so good to see you all hopping on from Twitter, from Facebook, and also YouTube. So thank you so much. IG, I apologize, but we're going to get it together for you. But yes, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone. I thank you so much for tuning in. Now, I am an advocate for developing the mind. I talk about it a lot. I talk about mindset resets. My coaching clients know that. And so even though I'm not going to go real deep tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about why we need to be very, very careful with our minds, right? And I really hope at the end of this time together that you will begin to see what a gift our minds are, right? We can shift and be anywhere we want to be, even right now, right? My husband and I were watching, and it's amazing. I haven't seen it before, but Just Mercy. We were watching just a little bit of that last night. We'll probably finish it tonight. And one of the guys on death row, I don't want to give away the movie, but I'll just say this in the movie that, the guy, was using mind tricks, right, to not be on death row. He could be anywhere he wanted to be. And, as I listened to that, I said, wow, if more people could grasp that, a lot of the unhappiness, a lot of the failures and things like that we experience would be lessened when we learn the power of our minds, right? So I want to start really with 3 questions that I think that you need to ask yourself as you're preparing to be, to do, and to have. You want to have a better life. It's going to be based upon what you do, and it's going to start with the mind shift, right? It's so important. I teach a lot of skill set. I teach how to get traffic. I teach you how to create lead pages and magnets and all those types of things. I teach you how to come up with an offer and work on your messaging. But none of that will matter if you haven't worked on your mindset to make sure, and I love it, I'm going to talk a little bit about mindset, but it's important that you realize that a lot of people, if they haven't done their homework, then they will sabotage their success, right? You have to, as you're growing financially, you have to grow mentally as well. That's so important. A lot of us spend a lot of time trying to learn a new skill set. Show me how to work, get more traffic on Pinterest. Show me how I can, improve my profile on my Instagram. All of those things are important, but if you haven't changed you, it doesn't matter what your profile looks like. It doesn't matter what your resume looks like on LinkedIn. It won't matter how many tweets you post per hour on Twitter. It will not matter if you have not worked on you. Okay? So here are the 3 questions I want to ask you. The first one is, and I really want, even though during this time you won't have time to answer it thoroughly, at least write them down so that you can think about it later. What has your life been like up to this point? What has your life been like up to this point? I mean, think about it. It's been relatively happy. It's been relatively calm. I've had an adventurous life. What has it been like? Just take the time to see, if someone was asking you to describe your life, or if you were writing about your life, what kind of story would it be? Would it be a boring story? Would it be an adventurous story? Would it, have the ups and downs? Typically, I would say yes, but a lot of times we don't think about where we've been, right? We only think about where we are. Oftentimes, we can just focus on, oh my gosh, my now. But sometimes you do need to reflect where you've been so that you can kind of plan, right, on where you're going. Okay? Second question is, What would I truly love for my life to look like? What do you want your life to look like? Okay? We plan vacations, but as Mary Kay Ash said many years ago in her book, very seldom do we plan our lives. We need to plan our lives with the same detail that we plan our vacations. Now, I don't know about you. I love to travel and I miss it so much, right? But my husband, he's really, really detailed, but I tell him what I want, right? I'm specific. What I want to do when I get to our particular destination. He knows what type of accommodations, all of that, that's important, right? So if we do that with our vacations, why don't we do that with our lives? You know, one of the things that my husband and I do, we have particular destinations that we want to visit, or we have a property that we want to purchase. We'll start to visualize those things. We'll start to talk about those things, right? We'll start to investigate those things, right? So the same way that you're planning purchases, you're planning vacations, I want you to plan, hey, what do you want your life to look like? And then the third thing is, are you open? Are you open to changing some things, in particular your mindset, so that you can actually acquire those things? Your current mindset is why you are where you are right now. To go to that next level is going to require some shifts, okay? Now, I work with women in particular, helping them to transition online. I help women to start businesses, right? Online businesses, by taking their particular skill set, okay, and turning that into a product or a service, right? Part of that is going, for them to do that, that takes a mind shift. It takes a mind shift to go from employer to employee. That's a different type of thought process. Okay. So that's how I want to kick off with those three questions. What has your life been like? What do you want it to be like? And are you willing to do the work? That's basically it. Are you willing to do the work? Most people, when I talk to them, they're not willing to do the work. We rather, what would I say? We'd rather daydream all day. Some people just daydream, or some people love sitting in the stands and admiring other people's lives. I'm all for admiring other people's lives. I'm all for celebrating other people's success. But I didn't come to this planet just to do that. I came to succeed wildly. How about you? Right? To do that, then we have to make sure that we are thinking correctly, and not just thinking. We have to think big. And anybody that works with me or anybody that's around me, either you're going to think bigger or you're going to be very, very uncomfortable. Okay? Because that's what I do. That's how I have made mind shifts. Now, when I answer those questions for me, I can look back and say, from my childhood, I love my parents, right? But my parents grew up in the 50s and the 60s. So they had some terrible experiences. And oftentimes they would share their fears with my sisters and I, right? They would share those fears. And so if they shared those fears, then we would take on those fears. And guess what? That's training your mind to think a certain way. That a certain group of people is after you, or don't trust people, or all those kinds of things. I do not fault them, because they were functioning from their mindset, right? Our minds are set either by things that we're intentionally doing or by outside influences. You're always being influenced, whether you realize it or not. Okay, and so you need to be conscious of that. Now, as adults, and I'll probably post it later on, we are responsible now. Now, as kids, we didn't have that responsibility, but as adults, it's our responsibility to make sure we make those mind shifts. Go ahead and give me a heart, give me a high five, give me something to let me know that you're hanging out with me and that you're getting some value. For those of you that just may be logging on, you haven't seen me a while on Twitter or whatever, my name is Tracy Davis, mysucceszone.com, mysucceszone.com. I am a business and success coach, and guess what? I get excited to help women come online and dominate. All right, that's what it's all about. Taking our skill sets, taking the gifts and the talents that God has given us, and turning it into a product or service, and then marketing it. That's what I do. I have an MBA in marketing, and I love everything about it. I thank God for the gifts that He's given me, and I take that and I serve others, and I teach you to do the same. Okay, so we are talking about mindset and the mind shifts that we need to make. If you don't improve yourself, right? If you don't improve your mind and how you think, you cannot improve your circumstances. Nothing is going to change. You'll keep having the same year every year if you don't change how you think. Right? I always say this, we need to take the girdle off of our brains. We have that thinking, that's stinking thinking. We have that small mindset, right? As opposed to you're free to think how you want to think, right? You're free to be and to do and to have whatever you want if you can think it, right? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, right? So if you can think it, you can be it. So I really want us to get that. Your entire life, even after you answer those questions, your entire life will revolve around your mind. It will revolve around your mindset. Okay? So these are the things that typically can shape your mindset, your past experiences, right? So even when I was talking with you, I could see my dad, or I could see him having a firm conversation with us so we'd be safe. I grew up in Georgia, right? So, we'd have those conversations. A lot of parents are having conversations with their children now based upon their past experiences and what we're currently experiencing, okay? Your mindset is also formed by your successes. Okay. So, if you've had some things that you have succeeded at, you approach life differently because you feel successful. You feel like, oh, I can do that. Been there, done that, not a big deal. Right? But it is also formed by your failures. If there's been something that caused you a lot of pain, and I can really, really relate to that when I had a failure in business, it took me a while to shake it. I felt like a failure. I took it personally, like maybe I'm not cut out for this, right? That was a mindset. It was setting in me to make me feel that I was not enough, to make me feel that I was incapable, right? Humiliations, even your triumphs, things again similar to successes, that can shape your mindset. I want you to know this, that within your mind, you have the power to change things. Within your mind, there's possibilities. Within your mindset, there are promises, right? And I want you to be able to unlock those promises and stop dreaming about things, but actually start experiencing those things. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you getting some value tonight? I certainly hope so. Now, a lot of times we don't realize that we draw things to us. Things are always in motion, right? Things are either moving away from us or moving towards us. And we can control that by our thoughts. We have to really understand it. That's how God set things up, right? We're speaking spirits. We can speak things into existence. We can draw things to us by how we are thinking. Okay, so it's important. If you want to upgrade your life, you're going to have to upgrade your thinking. And it's going to be important. You have to hang around people like me, right? You have to read good books. You have to make sure that you're pouring in yourself so that you can make sure that you're having those mindset resets, right? Whenever you think about a thermostat is set on a particular temperature until somebody changes it. You have to be the person that changes your mindset for you. That's not anyone else's job but yours. Okay, that's going to be important. Let's talk a little bit about our mindset as we go further and talk about the conscious mind. The conscious mind is the part of you that thinks. That's the thinking part of you. That's the part of you that can accept information or reject information. You're conscious of things, right? You consciously learn things. When you pick up a book, you're like, I consciously want to learn this information, okay? When you are using your conscious mind, that's the intellectual part of you. Okay, you are consciously thinking. But there's also a second part of you, or a sub part of you, if you will, and that's the subconscious. Okay, the subconscious cannot reject anything. Whatever you have accepted on a conscious level, the subconscious receives that. It doesn't know if you're making a joke. It doesn't know if you're serious or not serious. That's why you have to be careful what you're saying, and you have to be really careful with your thoughts, because your subconscious will take it as real. Okay, all of us have had the example of having a bad dream, and you're running in the dream and you feel like whatever it is that's chasing you is going to get you, and you wake up in a cold sweat. You hadn't left. You're right there in the bed, but in your mind you were running from that bear, right? You fell out of that plane or whatever it was. The mind is powerful, right? Now I bring that up because if we have these things that we learned consciously, then we're going to have to unlearn some things consciously as well. And we'll get a chance to do that by embedding new thought processes into our subconscious. I'm bringing this up because a lot of us, we're into our affirmations, or we're into our confessions, whatever we want to call them. We have our vision boards, but we don't really understand what we're doing. We are reprogramming ourselves, okay? The same way you turn on the television and allow it to tell you a vision, you need to put things, props around you to tell you a new vision, so that you can get out of your current situation and begin to live the life that you desire and deserve. So you'll begin to intentionally, on purpose, tell yourself a new vision. You put up the vision of the new home, or the new body that you want, or the new car that you want. That's the vision. Okay, right? That's the vision. And so subconsciously you're speaking to yourself. You're saying, I am worthy. I am great. You won't say I am not something, because that's negative. And we don't want to pull ourselves towards that. We want to draw positive things to us. So we need to release positive things. I am great. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am talented. I am rich. I am healthy. I am strong. I'm a boss, right? You have to say those things to yourself, right? Not from an ego standpoint, but because you're working on something, because you are having to reprogram. There's so much negativity. We see it all the time. We hear it all the time, right? And a lot of times we're speaking it. So we have to consciously, from this moment, I'm asking you to get serious about your life. When I asked you those 3 questions at the beginning, I said, tell me about your past life. Tell me about your current, and tell me where you want to go. And then what are you willing to do? Are you committed to changing? Right? So if you're committed, then that means you got to read more. That means you have to make sure that you're conscious of what you're seeing and hearing. It has to be, it's a job that you're working on you. Now, if you're one of those persons that said, I don't care to have a better life, mediocrity is what I choose, bye, that's you, not me. I want to have everything that God wants me to have. And guess what? That's one of the things that I want you to start saying. God wants me to have the best. God wants me to have the best. I want you to start stopping by the mirror and say, God, you look good in me, right? Because he's in you, right? I want you to just start saying those types of things to yourself to start deserving the best. You'll feel like you deserve the best when you start telling yourself that you deserve the best. All of those things are mindset resets. And the more you say it, subconscious is listening. That part of you, well, she's doing all this woo-woo stuff. Let's talk about it. Have you ever been driving before you knew it, you were home? Yeah, your subconscious took over because you had been doing it over and over and over and over again. You had developed a habit. That's all I'm talking about tonight. I need you to develop new habits so that you can have a mindset reset. Develop the new habits of building yourself up. Develop the new habits so that you can attract what it is that you desire and deserve. I'm telling you, it may sound weird, it may sound crazy, but I'm telling you, the car I drive, the house I live in, all those kinds of things, they happen because of a mindset reset. There's some people that don't understand, and they'd rather look at you and say, oh, you think you're better than everyone else. It's not that you think that you're better, but it means that you deserve better. That you say, right? You've been saying it to yourself, I deserve God's best. Man, that just sounds good. I want you to say it right now. I deserve God's best. I deserve God's best. Now, best, it can mean different things to different people. I know what that means when I say it, and I'm not going to stop until I have it, right? And that's how I'm willing to do the work. I'm open for a mindset reset because I know that where I am now is going to require greater thinking. It's going to require homework on my part, and it'll require homework on your part as well. So we have a conscious mind, that is the intellectual part, and then we deal with the subconscious mind. That's really our emotional part. So when we're trying to reprogram ourselves, we got to get emotional. We got to feel it. How does it feel to go to Turks and Caicos? How does it feel to drive that car? How does it feel to have that 6-pack? I want you to feel it. I want you to get emotionally involved. How does it feel to write a check with a whole lot of zeros? How does it feel? You got to feel, right? This sounds like work, but you know what? I don't want it to be a drudgery. I want it to be, wow, this is my time. I got to go and I get a chance to dream today. I get a chance to sit back in the theater of my mind and plan my life the same way I would a vacation, okay? So you're going to fix your mind on what it is that you want so that you can impact your present. You're going to fix your mind. Fix your mind. Fix your mind. So when I talk about putting your props up, when I talk about you telling yourself a vision, I need you to do that, okay? And if you've done one at the beginning of the year, we've had all kind of hell this year. Do another one. Rewrite it. Do another one so it's fresh and exciting and you have fresher pictures, right? It's mid-year. It's the perfect time to do it, okay? Your emotional mind will accept whatever you give it. Okay? If you say I'm 155 pounds and you keep saying it some kind of way, your habits are going to change so that you'll get down to the 155. I'm telling you. But you have to say it enough till you believe it. Saying it enough till you believe it. So it starts with a thought. You have this thought. Then you'll feel that thought, right? And because you feel it, then you're going to do the action. Because a lot of people love oh, yes, I dream all the time. Yes, I have a vision board. Yes, I do my affirmations. But you don't have any action. You got to have the action. Faith without works is dead, or as my husband would say, dead on arrival, right? Faith without works is dead. So we got to do the action. So we have these great thoughts, not thinking anything negative, not drawing anything negative to us, right? So we're thinking greater thoughts, better thoughts, bigger thoughts, right? And then what? We're going to feel it while we're thinking it, and then we'll put the action behind it. When we put the action behind it, so if you want a new body, then you got to have some action behind it. Whether that's eating clean, whether it's taking supplements, whether that's exercising, it's going to be some action that's required. I don't even like to talk to people like, can I do this without exercising? What do you want? I mean, what are you thinking? You don't want to have action for what you desire? How bad do you want it? Or proper English, how badly do you want it? Okay? After you do those things, then you can expect results. And that's what we all want. But it goes back, it goes back to mindset, or as I like to say, mindset resets. Who's going to do that? Who's going to commit with me that, you know what, from this moment forward, I'm going to do some mindset resets? Because Coach Tracy says skill set and mindset make me an asset. And I don't know about you, but I want to be an asset. I want to walk into a room and everybody knows that favor has arrived. I want to walk in a room and everybody knows that's a boss. I don't know her name, but I know that's somebody, right? Because I've told myself enough. I'm a boss chick, that I'm highly favored, right? That when I walk in, atmospheres change. Guess what? When I walk in, atmospheres have to change, right? Because I'm deciding that this is where I want to go. I'm deciding this is what I deserve. And guess what? From that thought, to that feeling, to that action, to the results, I'm committed to. All right? So that's all I have for tonight. I want to encourage you to download my ebook at b.mysuccesszone.com. That's be.mysuccesszone.com. I'm super excited, looking for some people that want to make that shift from offline to online and start your own online business with your own product or service. But guess what? That free ebook tells you 5 essentials that you need for an online business. So I would suggest that you go ahead and get that, download it, read it, and guess what? You never know. Things can begin to shift for you as you shift your mind. Okay? So with that being said, this is Tracy Davis, mysuccesszone.com. I'm so excited. This is so crazy. I'm going to have to hire me somebody to get me some music because y'all know I love music. Before I go off, I want to say happy birthday to my son, Micah Davis Masego. He has a lot of music. I plan to play some tonight, but you know what? I'll do that at another time. But I'm excited. He's 27 years old, done a lot of things. And a lot of things that I'm telling you, that's what I tell my kids. I want to make sure that some of the stuff that I was told as a kid, I never say it to mine. I want them to feel like they can do anything, go all over the world and dominate. And guess what? That's what's happening. Okay? So with that being said, thank you so much. And I'll be back tomorrow night, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Bring a friend, okay? Take care, and God bless you.